Yeah, you're good. There's just a giant line. There we go.
Are we good?
Yeah, you're good.
All right. Well, what's going on, everybody? Josh Hipp from Lebanon Ford Performance. We're live here in the LFP garage. We don't typically do live broadcasts on either one of our channels, but wanted to take a few minutes, talk about some things that we've got going on, some updates to our program, as well as some most common questions that I wanted to go ahead and just answer in this format rather than posting a traditional style video. Feel free to ask any questions that you may have if you chime in to the live stream. We're going to be here just for a little while before we do some shooting of our own on a couple builds that we've got going on and some updates to the whole program. So before people can jump in, I want to talk about just a couple things that we've got going on. One thing is going to be some of the common questions that we're encountering, something that our salespeople are regularly seeing that I think I can save a lot of people a lot of time, is just far as time of getting a response from someone here at LFP. That's always been a big thing and a big thing that we get both praise and negative comments on through our process, which is a regular thing for a dealership to encounter. One thing that's going to speed up your response time from LFP is just like when you do put in an inquiry, giving us all the information that you can provide to us in one shot is going to jump you up the line. So if you just give us an email and say, hey, I want to look at an LFP 800, but don't give us anything else. Well, what does that mean? Are you going to be looking at the 300A, or did you have something else in mind? You actually want a 401A PP2 with MagnaRide and Recaros with long tube headers and an active exhaust, because that obviously isn't a 39995 LFP 800 car. So giving us the options of the car that you're looking for, if you've gone and done the extra step and even gone to Ford.com, you can actually attach a PDF of the build. If you've looked in our inventory and you decided that stock number 1234 is the car for you, but you just need some pricing, go ahead and attaching that to your information inquiry, and also giving us a zip code at the minimum so that we can calculate taxes and rebates and any private offers that you may have from Ford Motor Company that ultimately saves you money. And it also just gives us more accurate details on how to price it to you and stuff like that. And then the minimum is and then the last thing is giving us a phone number. If you're only sending an email in for your inquiry, you're essentially jumping to the back of the line. Unfortunately, going from email is a much more difficult process to email us back and forth 10 to 20 times, and you may interpret things differently than we do. So it creates a lot of confusion that we can solve and get you started on the right foot in a quick 5 to 10 minute conversation over the phone. So an email, a zip code, a phone number, and your full name in your inquiry is the bare minimum to really get you going and to start this process. And that way we can get you to the right person, get you the right questions, get you the right answers that you're looking for, including pricing. And then if you have the extra stuff, how you want your car optioned, whether it be truck or Mustang, or if you've even found a stock number that works best for you, that's going to get you just going so fast. And then our sales team, Tim, Brian Pence, Brant, Milton, they're going to get you everything you need very, very quickly at that point.
Cool. We're going to let some people still filter in. We've got Brian Hoying and Brandon watching on Facebook right now. And then, we've got a couple people on Instagram. So if you guys want to shoot us some questions, we'll be here for a while. But we still have people filtering in.
Cool. So some of the other things that we're encountering, obviously, is a lot of people are curious on stuff like special cars, like a Performance Pack Level 2 or a car equipped with MagnaRide. There has been extended delays from Ford Motor Company on those cars. We've had customers order their PP2s in 2018 that didn't get here until 2019, or they came in as a 19 model and they were originally ordered as an 18 model. So that's something that you can encounter as well. Expect to see that more often. What do you got?
Mr. Whipple 08 asked, Josh, where'd you get that jacket?
Oh, that's Mr. Melvin Daney from Atlanta, Georgia, who currently drives the LFP 850 Havoc. So shout out to you, Melvin. This is an exclusive line, all right? This is only for LFP directors only. All right, I had to special order this to get this jacket, especially because you have the elbow pads in there as well. This is a limited edition. You're
going to have LFP embroidered.
Yeah, I got to get my embroidery here, LFP edition jacket. It's an exclusive brand, all right?
So we got a couple people. Clyde Rich asked, diesel sleeper for the next project? ?
So diesel has been a heavily debated topic. We are hoping to see some diesel stuff come out of Roush Performance now that they're getting into the Roush Super Duty. So we may have some diesel stuff. We do have a couple local brands that do some diesel work for Fisher's Auto Shop as well. So that may be something coming soon. And Ford's working on a lot of stuff towards the diesel brand and the diesel, obviously diesel engine, such as the 3-liter diesel on the F-150. So we could easily see some LFP diesel stuff coming soon.
Big Bree, the car guy, said Josh is a great guy and LFP is awesome.
What up? Yeah, man. Yeah.
What is the horsepower limit on the new 1819 Mustangs?
So the horsepower limit is a relative term. So we're seeing that wheel horsepower on a stock engine to be safe is between 900 and 950 to the tire. There are people that have made more than that. Do not get me wrong. We've seen upwards of 1100 plus to the tire on stock engines. We currently still feel that the stock engine's capabilities without any built modifications to the internals is probably capping out somewhere around 950.
Gotcha. He also asked, how would you rate the Roush Supercharger to other power systems?
It's all about application. So the Roush Supercharger being 700 horsepower to the crank is a great, reliable car. Drives extremely well. I was driving a Stage 3 earlier today, and it was just a very fun, spirited drive. A great street car, a great show car. But if you're wanting to go out and win races, I really think you need to look at one of the other power systems, such as the Whipple or the twin turbo or the Procharger system.
Jeff McNall Jr. Asked, does the 39.9 Mustang Whipple come with the performance pack trim level?
You can get the performance pack added in, both level 1 or level 2, but it is not included in the 39.995. The 39.995 car, now as it always has been, is a base 300A manual GT, no extra options, with the exception of adding a supercharger of your choosing.
Gotcha. We also had another question, Whipple or Procharger?
Whipple or Procharger? A Procharger has a ton of character. We just delivered 2 Prochargers last week, Stage 2 and a custom tune Stage 2, and it was a blast. It comes on a little bit later in the power band, unlike the Whipple comes on much sooner, but for a character car, a car that really sounds good and just makes you kind of like really excited to be in, the Procharger is on all the time. I'm a big fan.
We have, will a different tuner make a difference in power, Bama/Lund?
100%. So different tuners going to make different power because you've got different tuners being more aggressive than others. You've got different tuners with a lot more knowledge than others. If you want to go out and get the best tune for a Mustang or an F-150, you go see Palm Beach Dyno.
Cool. We still got some people filtering in. Chrissy Tino is watching.
Tino!
Yeah, we've got like 15 people on Facebook and we've got 15 people on Instagram.
Look at that.
So, yeah. Do you want to take us through kind of like a step-by-step process if someone submits a lead?
So the how to buy setup at Lebanon Ford is very easy. So you submit a lead, whether that be from our LebanonFord.com or LebanonFordPerformance.com. Or if you see one of our ads on Facebook, you can submit through the ad as well. Those will come over to our BDC, and we've got 4 different BDC employees that are trained on answering the basic knowledge and facilitating some of the early inquiry questions. So they're going to try to get the information that we need from you. So if you didn't submit those 4 points that I mentioned earlier into your lead, they're going to get your phone number, your email, a zip code at minimum, and then what you're after, whether you'd be after a Mustang with a Whipple or an F-150 with a Roush. And try to nail down a stock number with you as well. And then if you've completed all that, that's kind of step 1. Then they're going to move you on to one of our performance salespeople, which we have 5, Tim, both Brian's, Brant, and Milton. And then they're going to take you to the next step. They're going to give you an in-depth walkthrough of our process, give you all the options that are available, talk what you're hoping to achieve, whether that be a custom build or just something like a promo deal. And then they're going to coordinate pricing at that point. They'll send you a build sheet of what you're looking at, as well as the pricing that it's going to be yielding. And then with your approval, take deposit. And then if it's an in-stock unit or locate, then you're going to move straight into build process. And then you go into our build queue, 3 to 4 weeks for a Supercharger, 6 to 8 on a Hellion. And then if it's an order, they'll go ahead and take the order, place it from the factory, and punch it with Ford. And then we're just waiting for a car at that point.
Cool. We have another question. Power adder on a GT350 or LFP Gt?
So yes, you can do. So if if I'm interpreting the question right, yes and yes. So you can do a power adder on a GT350, no problem. Christina, who's actually tuned in on Facebook, has had two GT350s, one with a Procharger, one with a Whipple. If you remember, if you followed us for a long time, you saw that orange GT350 that we sold a few months back, actually about 6 months back. That was Tino's old GT350.
In regards to this guy, I don't know how to pronounce his username, but I'm working with you guys to get a sleeper twin turbo kit. I was wondering what the intercooler is, air to air or water, question mark. I was trying to do a 19 premium automatic.
Okay, so it is air to air.
Air to air. Okay, cool. Twin turbo 350R available. Is that possible?
Yes, it is possible. We have quoted out many of these and have yet to secure one. Because I would really, really love to see it. If you look at the guys from Fat House Fabrications, they do it's like crazy 1,200, 1,400 horsepower GT350 kits. We would use the Hellion kit, but yes, absolutely possible.
Which is better, GT350 or LFP 3.0?
So an LFP with a 3-liter Whipple or a GT350, they're two completely different cars.
Yep.
So the GT versus if you look at stock versus stock, you got two different engines, two different suspensions. The GT, the new 1819 GT is certainly a very strong competitor of the GT350. If it doesn't, especially if you have the 10-speed, you're walking away from a GT350. You're gonna run really good stock versus stock. The GT350 does have more horsepower, but once you go forced induction, I think that a GT with a 10-speed, sky's the limit.
Do you install / warranty Whipple kits on a certified used low mile GT?
So the Whipple warranty will backdate to your in-service date, so it's time and distance loss. So say you found a certified pre-owned 18, got the Whipple kit, it's already got 10,000 miles on it, you've lost that year and 10,000 miles applicable of warranty.
Skylar asked, when is the LFP Flex coming out?
The LFP Flex.
Skylar Tubes.
Who knows? Who knows? The Flex is going to be gone shortly, so who knows?
You
never know. Anything could come out of this garage. Brandon's got his 13 GT here that he just did an on-3 kit on. So
hey, you never know.
Anything
Lisa might let us do that on her
The
Flex.
owner, Lisa Kreider, could let us mess with her Flex. That's true. Could tune it. We could do a Palm Beach tune on our 3.5. That'd be sick.
I think there was a question earlier. Who is faster? Who was it? Hold on. Let me see. Casey Shotwell or Brandon Gordon? Who's faster?
Who asked that question?
Hold on. I gotta move this real quick. It was, I think, Chris.
Was it
Chris
Tino?
Yeah.
That is the showdown of the seasons. Brandon Gordon, Casey Shotwell. I'm issuing the challenge. Both of you head-to-head at Killcare this season. That is a race that I will absolutely have to be at because that will be a hot race.
Okay, 2 questions. One, how much is it to add a twin turbo to a 350R bought from off the lot?
So obviously we don't even have allocations for 19 350Rs. The 350Rs are very, very limited production, and we've not even gotten an allocation for. We don't even have any 350s here yet. The 19 year model year 350s haven't even hit. But if you look at like a basic twin turbo kit, we would probably option that. Depending on the options that we went for, we'd probably start somewhere in the realm of 14 to 15 grand.
Skylar said favorite build so far.
Favorite build so far.
Also, Casey said he'll put $100 on Shotwell.
I'll match
it.
Or
Chris Tino.
I'll match
it.
I'll match it. Favorite build so far. Probably, in all honesty, probably this Shelby replica car that we built way back when in like 2016. Jimmy Alvarez's RTR is a close second, and that just got written up by The Drive. If you haven't read that article, go read it. Really cool article. But probably the Shelby replica. It was on air. It had a full Shelby front end. It was a rowdy car. And then the new favorite will be my PP2 when it shows up. So stay tuned for that.
The return of the Rabid Panda.
The return of the Rabid Panda. I'm stoked.
Brandon sent $100 on Casey.
Well, Casey's got that new transmission, so
yeah.
Brandon, all we need to do is blow this MT82 up real quick, and then we'll put a better trans in it, and then you can go in.
What's the price difference between an installed Whipple or an installed Procharger?
So if you look at the way that we option it, they're the same price. So we give you the Stage 2 Procharger with a lot of extras. We put a boosted pump in there. We put bigger injectors in there. We do the bigger blow-off valve. We do the better gears. We do the P1X head unit. So you're getting a lot of extras so that it equals the same price. But that's the only reason for it. Normally it would be probably $1,000 or so less.
Gotcha. I'm just moving this. There we go. That's better. Would you recommend a upgrade to the turbos on a sleeper kit?
It depends on application again. So the cast wheel 62s can run all the way up to 1,000 plus horsepower. I mean, if you look at our black RTR, that did 860 to the tire, and that's on cast wheel 62s. The bigger challenge when you make that kind of power and you're trying to max out the turbos is back pressure on the engine and valve flow.
Couple questions. When will the 2020 GTs be available to order, and will they have the same LFP special price right away?
The 2020 GTs will be available to order this summer. Ford is back on the traditional Mustang order bank cycle, so that will open this summer and they'll hit late fall. And as long as Ford doesn't make a drastic change in pricing, which they have done every single year, they have increased the cost of the Mustangs since 2014. That's as long as I've been here at the store. They've price increased every year. As long as the pricing is in the realm of the same, we will absolutely continue the program.
The other question was, I used to have a 14 GT with Roush axle backs and loved it. What exhaust would sound so close to that, but also turbo spool out the exhaust for a 19 Hellion sleeper?
Well, you can put a Roush exhaust on a Hellion sleeper. You can do a Roush X, Roush axle back on a Hellion sleeper so that you'll get the Roush sound, but you'll still get the turbo spool come out.
Gotcha. We're just having a lot of comments of love what you guys do.
Cool.
Can't wait to start working with you guys. Keep up the great work. There's still some people betting on Casey versus Brandon.
I'll start booking that bet. Let's start keeping some books on there and let's get a little cash pot together.
What are the best 1-inch lowering springs for a 19 GT with forced induction to emulate a stock ride?
To emulate a stock ride. I mean, typically we're putting Eibach 1-inch lowering springs on, or the RTR lowering springs are really good. But I mean, you're not gonna necessarily get a stock ride quality back out of a car once you lower it. I don't notice much diminished ride quality or drivability when we do it. I mean, it still rides fairly close to stock, but it's never gonna be exactly the same.
Gotcha. Do you want to mention some of the places we're going to be this year?
Yeah. So we are going to be all over the place this year. So locally in Ohio, we've got Cars and Coffee coming up next month. Dayton Cars and Coffee will be there on the 13th of April. Lfp Gt Cars and Coffee will be there on the 20th. And then the 28th will be at the Sharonville show. So we'll be releasing some information like that. If you're a local customer and you want to maybe join our display or own an LFP vehicle and want to make a trip, let us know. We'll be posting some information on that probably beginning of April. To start getting our display built out. Let's see, we'll be at Lauren Hill in May. There's another show in June that I'll post some details on. We'll be doing Cars and Coffee every month. We'll be intermittently showing up to the Dayton Cars and Coffee event because that's always a fun show. And then towards the late end of the summer, we'll have our show in August. And then we will be doing, I think we're going to do Roush Day again this year. We're going to go drive out to Manchester in October. And then abroad, you'll see us, we're not doing Mustang Week this year. We did that a couple years ago and it was awesome, but we're going to stay a little closer to home this year. We've got some stuff scheduled where maybe we may surprise a couple people and just pop up at some new events. I'm also going to try to plan a Roush Day to go up to Livonia and get a tour. We'll probably do that a couple times. We may end up showing up at Woodwood Dream Cruise that year and maybe doing a little surprise action down there in Charlotte and hanging out with Vaughn, getting in at RTR.
Yeah, I've never been up to Roush. It sounds fun.
I know, you need to go up there.
I know.
It is a massive facility. It is so much. It's very, very cool. Very cool to see.
Take that drone up.
Take the drone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could rip a burnout in their driveway. Somebody else did that. I don't know who it was.
Is there any LFP Sleeper Whipple Hellion demo models available to test drive?
Absolutely not, unfortunately. Every single, and I know that some other dealerships have demo cars. Yeah, they own that car. It's a used car. If anyone's building brand new supercharged vehicles for the lot, it's technically illegal, unfortunately. We don't build anything until it's been purchased and funded. It's all called post-title builds, meaning that the car's been titled in your name and that the bank's paid for the car, and then we're allowed to start modifying it. It's like a $35,000 fine if you supercharge something for your lot.
Yeah, do you want to talk about that emissions?
Yeah. So and just on that end, emissions. I mean, we're only allowed to modify the emissions on this car because you technically own them and are giving us permission to do so. And then if you look at like the places that we can sell different supercharger systems, California has always been really odd for us. When we first started, we were only able to do the Roush Phase 1, which was 670 horsepower at that time. And now, with the 1819, we can sell the Whipple Stage 1 on both the Mustang and the truck. We can sell the Edelbrock on the Mustang. We can sell the Roush on the truck and the Mustang. And that's essentially it. That's all that can go to those green states. And now Oregon and Washington are also starting to tag on to CARB. So if you're in those states and you're inquiring as well, and let us know, because we're going to need to know if you're in those states specifically, because you actually may have some new CARB compliance laws that you may not be aware of.
What's warranty on the Whipple package?
Whipple package warranty is a $7,500 limited liability policy. It's $336. It backdates to the date of the car is purchased, the in-service date. It is limited liability, no different than any of the other policies. It covers the engine and the trans only in the event of failure.
Someone asked how about North Dakota in regards to emissions.
No problem. We're sending a Whipple there next week. It's actually sitting outside waiting for the customer to pick it up. We've got a good couple in North Dakota. We actually sent 2 this year to North Dakota.
Do you want to talk about maybe the benefits of going to Lebanon Ford Performance?
Sure.
In regards to the fact that we have like our technicians and kind of our process.
I mean, that says it all right there. I mean, not only just like I kind of talked to you about the process of how to buy at Lebanon Ford, and, the reasons why to buy is one, you're dealing with a really experienced team. I mean, Chuck Kreiner was commenting on a gentleman who was commenting on our post on the RTR post and said, the reason I drove from Montana is because I bought the right car from the right people and it was built by the right people. And that's it right there. You've got Ryan and Brandon and Oscar, who are amazing master certified technicians that can see their way through a problem and facilitate a solution if there ever is an issue. And we've got awesome vendors that we do business with, who are not only vendors, but they're partners in this business with us. Liberty Collision and Tino and Casey and James Reedy and Charles Meadows over there. They always do amazing body work for us, and they get our cars looking right. They actually do all the aesthetics on all of our RTRs. They've been doing all of our customer paint work. James and Casey have worked on my personal vehicles and did awesome work for me. They've worked on Brandon's cars. And Tino, and a lot of them purchase our cars here. So it's a partnership. It's a network of people trying to do everything they possibly can to produce the best Mustang, and it's all done right here in Lebanon. We don't take the cars to somebody else's facility and have them built. They go to the Liberty Collision to get paint work, but that's it. Everything else is done here in house, and it's nice to know that you can come back and shake hands with the guy who built your car, rather than saying I appreciate it, but I want to talk to the technician. You can't, because at a lot of other facilities, they're built by outside speed shops, which no discredit to the outside speed shops. There's a lot of killer businesses, and we lose businesses every day to guys who are in speed shops. Don't get me wrong. So it's just it's nice to know that your car that you're buying is built in the same place that you're buying it from.
Do you want to talk about the whole LFP team in general?
Yeah, we keep growing. I started here as an accessory specialist selling floor mats 5 years ago. And you know what I mean? So we've got Ryan, Brandon, and Oscar, our 3 technicians. Frank, who was at one time our performance manager, is now the new car sales manager of the store, who's still an expert on performance. We have 5 salespeople. We have 4 BDC. We have Hannah and Phil from our marketing department, and we're continuing to grow. We're getting ready to potentially bring on another associate to the team to help out with our day-to-day operations, and it just continues to get bigger and bigger.
Describe the sound difference between Superchargers that you offer for the 19 GTs. I've been talking with Milton to build a Cali special.
Sure. Okay, so describe the sound difference. Okay, so if you're looking at a Supercharger, everyone has its signature sound. Roushes are always quiet. They rarely ever whine when you step into the throttle. You've got to be full wide open before you'll hear the Supercharger. A Whipple has always been heavily characterized with the Whipple whine. As soon as you step into the throttle, it's just spooling and whining at you. And then the ProCharger is on all the time. ProCharger, Vortec, they have that signature Supercharger whine because it's a belt-driven. It's essentially a turbocharger with a belt on it. It's a belt, and so it's always whining at you. You always have that metallic sound of the turbines moving. So a lot of different character. The Procharger is the absolute most with character. The Roush is the most sleeper. Obviously, the Whipple has got a nice sound when you step in the throttle and has the most power.
Could you go further into the upgrading of turbos? Oh no, it moved away. And what's the difference between two spring boost wise?
Sure. So you have options from Hellion to pick out different turbos. If they're all at an upcharge, you can do a ball bearing upgrade, which is obviously just going to make sure the turbo is stronger and the turbine can hold it. You also have precision built turbos. You have Borg runners. Each turbo has its own characteristics. They're each credited with different finishes, different fits, bigger power capabilities, and then you can option that from there. We've only always put the twin 62s in our cars, and they perform very well without the ball bearing. But if you were looking at a built motor car and you wanted to make 1,400 horsepower at some point, you would need to upgrade your turbos, obviously. What was the next question?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Would warranty still be covered if I had a Lund or Palm Beach dyno tune?
No.
Would it be voided?
No, absolutely voided. Yeah. The systems are only intact if they're being powered by the people who built the system.
Gotcha. Do you maybe want to talk about how KDG?
Yeah. So for people who don't know, a lot of people don't know, we actually switched ownership back in August of 2018. We partnered. We are now a part of the Kenwood dealer group, which means we have access to more cars, more inventory. We're going to have special units at those places as well that we can bring to Lebanon Ford. Should you be looking for a Roush truck in silver, but we only have red, blue, and white, and they may have silver, we can bring that over. So it's just expanding our abilities, expanding our reach. Our LFP customers can now get LFP upgrades through these dealers. You know what I mean? They can essentially, if your car were to get dropped off for a Supercharger at Northgate, it would be brought and built here at Lebanon Ford.
Gotcha. And on top of that, we'll have more different brands at our car show.
True, yeah. So we expect our car show and our Cars and Coffees to be a lot more diverse this year. A lot of people kind of grunt and moan when we get to the awards part, and most of the people winning awards are Mustangs or F-150 owners, just because it's because it's a Ford dealership. Most people think only Ford's going to attend. But that's not going to be the case, and it never has been the case, and we definitely don't want that to be the case this year. We have a Dodge store, we have multiple Subaru and Volkswagen stores, we have a Lincoln store, we have everything you can think of. So all makes and models are going to be welcome at the car show as always, but I expect to see a much more diverse show this year.
Cool. Okay, here we go. So I have a 19 Mustang GT PP2, and I was wondering about how much a Whipple package and oil pump gears installed would be around.
Be around $11,000.
Installed
plus tax.
Got it. Cool. Yeah, keep sending us your questions. And if for some reason we didn't see your question initially, send it again. We've got some questions going by pretty quick. Brandon and Casey are just talking to each other on Facebook the whole time.
They're just chatting in the live stream.
Yeah. Will you be auctioning off that jacket?
Will I be? Who is asking that?
Mr. Whipple.
Mr. Whipple.
Oh, wait.
This is an expensive jacket, Melvin. I mean, if you send me a couple $100, maybe I send you a piece of it. All right, I'll cut out a little piece of the pocket and send you further. This is an exclusive LFP jacket.
Do you want to maybe talk about what you're going to do to your Mustang?
Oh, yeah, sure. My Mustang has been a long time coming. I had a Focus RS that I loved very much and sold it, and then it blew up. And then now that I've ordered the Mustang, and I ordered a PP2, a 301A, Performance Deck Level 2 with Recaros and active valve exhaust. So, hopefully we see that Mustang in the next 6 to 8 months. It's a pretty hard car to acquire. But it's got the Magnerized suspension, so I won't give you everything because it's going to be a really cool car, but it's obviously going to be supercharged. I'm not going to go twin turbo.
Ooh.
So it's going to be supercharged. It's going to have a lot of aesthetic upgrades to kind of be close to my Focus RS. And it may or may not have a full custom paint job. I'll leave it at that.
Dang.
It will be a big reveal probably next year whenever it shows up.
Gosh. Someone asked, will it be an RTR?
It could be.
Could be.
Could be. Von Gittin.
Yeah.
Send me a kit.
What's the top speed of an RS3 Phase 2 without a limiter? Running a mile event in July in Maine.
What is the top speed? I don't see why you couldn't. I mean, it just depends on how the car is built too. I mean, if it's just a Phase 2, I would say, not though I've never done it, I would say over a $180, $186, $190. But if you've got more power outers on there, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to go beyond that.
Gotcha. Casey asked, will you be painting it? Will he be painting it?
Oh, that's a debate. Tino, jump in there. Reedy or Shotwell, who's getting the paint work? They've both done paint work for me in the past, so who knows? It could be a coin toss.
Ooh, okay, this is a great question. How long does it take to get the car after paperwork is done, getting a sleeper kit on a 19?
Okay, so Hellions are longer than our traditional wait time. Our traditional wait time is 3 to 4 weeks after paperwork is paid for. Not necessarily signed back in the mail heading on to us, but U.S. Bank says green check mark, sends us a check, everything's paid for on the car. Supercharger is 3 to 4 weeks. A turbo kit, just because of how many we've got backed up. Ryan and Brandon are super busy with those. We're usually saying about 6 to 8 weeks on a turbo kit, pushing closer to the 8-week mark.
I think Chris said, who gets your first GT 500 and he will get it for my invoice.
What?
Hold on. Who gets your first GT 500 and will he get it for invoice? That's what he said.
Currently, Frank's dad has #1 spot, and it will certainly not go at invoice.
When will you be taking 2020 Mustang orders, and what are the changes?
We have not been given changes for 2020 yet. Dealers don't know. I assume it's just going to be colors and wheels. I expect Gravel Blue to be returned. Usually that's at the end of every model cycle we see Grabber, so I fully expect to see that color again. The 2020 will be the same car. The 2020 should be a different car.
Gotcha. Cool. Anything on the 2020 Explorer?
It's just going to be awesome. That's all I can tell you. Rear-wheel drive has been added back, 400 plus horsepower. It is just going to be incredible. If I fully plan to, if the ST is rear-wheel drive like it's supposed to, we'll get that thing sideways in a parking lot. The first one we get. We will find a way to get it sideways. Brandon will most likely help me with that.
Like we did in the rain?
Yes, like we did in the RS. We'll get it sideways. We'll figure out a way to put it around.
Man. Yeah, Bronco soon.
Bronco soon. And there's going to be 2 Broncos. A lot of people don't know that.
Baby Bronco.
There's going to be a baby Bronco, which is already been shown to dealer principals and GMs at the dealer meeting, which was like 4 months ago.
Yeah,
the one that Lisa and Bunny went to.
Yeah, they said it was going to be built off of the Escape platform.
Built on the Escape platform. Then they're going to have the full-size O.J. Simpson Bronco, which is going to be built on an F-150 platform, and that will come next.
I think Phil asked, will it be coming with a white glove?
I will. If I ever got a Bronco, it would have to be white, and the vanity plate would just be the juice.
The juice.
It would be the greatest homage to O.J. Simpson, who is a terrible person. But it would just make people laugh every time they saw it.
Yes, perfect. Yeah, will you have anything for the new Bronco and baby Bronco?
Yeah, Roush is developing a Roush Bronco already.
Are they doing anything with the baby Bronco?
They're supposed to. They've already seen it. They have it. They have the chassis. They can build on it.
This is my personal question because I'm a Jeep person, but what were your thoughts on the Jeep truck? The Gladiator? The Gladiator.
Which the first one just rolled off the assembly line in Northern Ohio today. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll sell well, but it's interesting.
It comes with a built-in like Bluetooth wireless thing where like if you bring the backside down, there's actually a speaker that will come out of the car, and it's like a wireless speaker.
That's a cool feature, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it'll do well, but we'll see.
Any LFP Rangers, lift, wheels, tires, etc.?
We actually currently are holding 3-inch leveling kits for Ranger in stock right now. We are literally just waiting on a Ranger to be available to put them on because we sell our Rangers in 24 hours or less usually.
Okay, 2 things. Peter Roberts said Whipple Stage 2 on a Flex E85 versus Pro Charger on a Flex, and what can the 10-speed hold?
Well, obviously you can't put those on a Flex because the Flex is a 3.5 Eco. But if it was possible, you'd have to do a Pro Charger in there because that would just be slam series. What was the other question? What is the 10-speed capable of?
Yeah.
10-speed is capable of as much as you can throw at it. I mean, Tino's got a, almost 1,000 horsepower twin turbo. We've built multiple other auto twin turbos that have handled that kind of power.
Chris was like, "What terrible person? If it don't fit, you must acquit."
Only Tino.
Have you seen the American Crime Story of that?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, it was strange.
Yeah. What time is it?
It is 7:05.
Okay, so we'll have 10 more minutes, and then we gotta film the videos that we're gonna. Do you want to talk about the videos we're gonna film?
Yes. So we are filming a why buy at Lebanon Ford performance video where you're gonna see the whole process. We're gonna walk you through the process. There's gonna be some really awesome bullet points dropped on the screen, step by step, and just a little bit about what makes Lebanon Ford different. No different than what we talked about just a few minutes ago. And then we're also doing a prep video for the new FAQ that we're building. We're building an online just resource of questions and answers. We get a lot of new questions every day, so we want to try to answer as many of those as possible and give somebody a resource to go back and reflect on them, just in case you forget or you're really just looking for information. You're not necessarily ready to buy anything yet. So we're going to be building a new web page for that. And then we also have some updates that we shot a video already for it, but we do have some updates that we're just going to kind of plug because we are going to be adding some new stuff to our power systems and making a couple of changes to one of our existing power systems that will be launching in April.
What can the 19 6-speed handle for horsepower and torque?
The MT82 can handle all kinds of power. Just for reference, you mentioned 19. Brandon's car is a 13 with a stock MT82 in it. He has a bigger clutch, but it's an MT82. And we are expecting this car to make somewhere in the realm of 900 plus to the tire, right? Based on what Brandon's told me. And Rob Schumacher is going to make the hottest tune alive and make this thing run good. So, assuming that the transmission doesn't blow up on the first pass at Killcare, you'll have your answer.
Any input on Circle D converter for the 10R80?
We've only seen, and that was seen some really strong times. So, I mean, it's if you're gonna hook up at the track and you want to push big power, that's certainly something to put on the list.
Nick wanted us to shout out his 17 that's in our service drive right now.
Nick Lovelace brought in his 17 Whipple Supercharged Mustang for some new wheels and tires. So great looking car. Thanks for bringing it into LFP. It's got some cool stuff on it. Right? It's got a lowering kit. It's obviously got the 2.9 Whipple. It's on a 375 pulley. It's got the GT350 track pack spoiler on it. Really sharp looking car. An awesome exhaust too.
Mike Peters is watching. What up, Mike?
Mike! And Mike Peters is out there making America great again. Man. Mike Peters is sitting in Houston right now in a pizzeria with probably at a Taco Bell Pizza Hut combo with a large Baja Blast, chicken quesadilla, and a miniature pepperoni pizza right now. I can guarantee it.
Easily my favorite Instagram.
He has the best Instagram ever because it's all pizza. It's pizza and like his cat.
Wait, let's flip it around. Mike, what is your ultimate pizza?
Yeah,
Mike. What's your favorite pizza? Someone said, now I'm hungry.
I love Mike Peters. Mike Peters is great. Mike Peters and Big Bry, the car guy, previously of Galpin Auto Sports, now of Black Diamond Wheels. Shout out to Brian.
Yeah, he's watching our...
Is he?
Yeah.
Two of the coolest guys ever. Hanging out with him the first time I went to SEMA, easily one of the awesome, most best parts of this career is meeting both of them at SEMA.
It's awesome. Christino, one last question. What's your favorite table game?
Oh man, you know I play roulette. For any of you who don't know, I used to be a pretty avid card player, and then I met Christino, and he just corrupted me in the worst ways, and now we play roulette. And if we don't hit 5, 7, 11, 17, 20, 22, split 32, 35, and split the zeros, we have lost all hope in humanity. And and now every time I go play cards or I go play roulette, I have to call him and say, Chris, what do I need to play? What do I need to play?
He's like your caddy, but for cards.
He literally is. He's taught me everything about roulette. He's also, so we've won together and we've lost together. That's for sure.
Oh my gosh. Someone said, should they order a 19 or just wait for the 2020?
No point waiting for the 2020. Get the best deal now. Get the better rebates. The 2020 is going to come out and have a $500 rebate. Your 19 is going to be more heavily discounted. We even still have a couple of 18s left on the lot, which are extremely discounted. So no point waiting for the 2020. If it was a new car, I'd say wait. It's not. It's just different color.
Someone asked, any chance for a cruising at Miami Valley Gaming?
Yeah, cruising at Miami Valley Gaming.
But our car show's at Miami Valley.
That's where our cars are. Yeah, so we'll have Cars and Coffee once a month at Miami Valley Gaming, just like we did last year. Nice days only. If it rains on the weekend that we choose, we're just going to push to next month. So we may only do it 5 or 6 times in a whole season. And then we'll have our big car show, our cruise-in, at the end of August, as usual. Last Sunday of August.
Tim Flanagan is watching our live stream.
Oh, is Tim in here?
Yeah.
Tim, why weren't you at work today?
Oh, man. John Cart?
Yeah.
Just sent you,
He picked up his Hellion last week.
Yeah, just sent you data logs for Sleeper.
He did, and I sent those over to Rob Schumacher, so hopefully Rob looks at those tonight or tomorrow, and we'll get some data back for you.
Tim said day off. Jeez.
Jeez. Tim, there are no days off. Okay. All right. When I'm at home on Saturdays and you call me when I'm on my couch, I'm working. All right?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I'm trying to think of any other questions.
Got 5 minutes left.
5 minutes.
We just did a 45-minute live stream for the first time.
We should do this more often.
We should. A lot of good questions. A lot of good feedback.
Yeah. John said, woohoo.
John said his car ran good, so I'm excited. Yeah, we'll just do a couple of quick tweaks and have that thing done.
Yeah. Tim said I sent 5 build proposals today.
Strong as death. Look at that. Now they all have to be 5 deposits tomorrow. So
LFP does not stop.
That's right. And just so you know, so people watching, they ask, well, how many do you do a year? So we did over 100 builds last year. We've done over 100 every year for the last few years, and we are currently on track to do 200 this year. So if we keep maintaining this flow and these amount of awesome customers that we keep interacting with, we'll have our first 200 build year, which will just be an awesome thing to accomplish. It's been a goal of mine for a long time.
We thanks from Joanne and Matt Grimmers from Wisconsin.
Matt Grimes.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt.
We love our 800.
Good.
Someone said, how much horsepower to wheels on Hellion E85?
Depends on how much boost you push. Most of our E85s on an aftermarket catback have done over 850. With the stock catback, we did just under 800 to the tire.
Brake recommendation for taking a Hellion to a 1320. A GF Hellion to 1320.
Break-in recommendation?
Like a brake, like brakes, I think.
Oh, like brakes.
Like what kind of brakes? Yeah.
Oh, put a set of Willwoods or bare brakes on there. Deep stages or the Aero 6 wheel, the Aero 6 brakes. Yeah. We've got a new build that we're working on that should release late spring, early summer. That'll be a complete package build. Be a little pricey, but it's gonna be it's gonna have a full brake setup in it, and we're gonna either do the Bears or the Willwoods. It's gonna be for the people who didn't buy a GT500. Let's put it that way.
Well, we'll flip a question around. What do you guys want to see from LFP?
Yeah, what do you want to see next? We like to build new stuff. So Ryan and Brandon always hate when I come in with new projects, but I keep bringing them anyways. So the look on their faces Monday morning when I walk in after thinking about something all weekend, and I come in and say, "Look, I think we can build this," and they go, "Yeah, we can't build that." And then we end up building it anyway.
Yeah. Or for next Instagram, what do you guys want to see? Or if we do more of these live videos, what do you guys want? RTR Spec 5.
Ugh, I absolutely. Tina and I were just talking about the Spec 5. I'll leave it at that. We were just talking about the Spec 5 body kit earlier this week, so it could happen. It could happen.
Bring a Hellion to the F-150 5-liter.
Well, we are offering Hellion on F-150. It is a more expensive kit. It is not in the pick your power structure. It's just outside of it, but have not built one yet. I just talked to John Yurse and Jeff Yakum from Hellion on Monday, and kits are in stock down at Hellion, so it could happen very, very soon. Just need someone to sign up.
How much for a tune package, I think it was? Hold on, let me scroll back up. John Lawrence, how about a dyno tune package?
Yeah, I mean, so typically our Palm Beach calibrations with Engage and a dyno session over at Weapon X Motorsports is about $12.50.
Gotcha. All-wheel drive Mustang GT.
It's coming. It's gonna happen. It's absolutely gonna happen. There's gonna be a hybrid drivetrain that could turn the Mustang into an all-wheel drive capable vehicle.
What were your thoughts on that four-door?
Oh, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If there's a 4-door Mustang with a Coyote, and even if it's just a naturally aspirated Coyote, but if it has like a single turbo, like they're rumoring to go after the Porsche Panamera market, I'll buy it for sure.
Christino, how about a LFP 1000 raffle?
LFP 1000 raffle. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if the other dealerships want to raffle off their junk cars, that's fine. But ours have a price tag.
Thoughts on the new Mach 1?
I don't know too much about it. I mean, it's all rumor. It's speculation at this point. If it's supposedly gonna be a hybrid drivetrain SUV with an EV badge on it. I don't know. We'll see. I think it's supposed to be a Mustang inspired build. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm not too jazzed up about an EV Mustang SUV.
Is the $12.50 price point with Palm Beach Gold package ? Looking to go E85 in the winter with force fuel system four fuel system, and would like to just buy one package. If
that would
possible.
be the silver package, but actually Palm Beach is trying to push everyone to gold packages. It's a little bit more, but they are off. They just did a video last Friday about the differences between the package levels, and they really want people to be buying gold packages. Ours is just the tune and the remote tune session, not the trackside support. So you would want to go to the gold package to get that.
Obviously, there might not be so many people that know this, but can you actually get an LFP Supercharger or do our Supercharger system on a Mustang that they already own?
Yeah, drive them in. We do. I'd say probably once every 2 weeks we have an out-of-state customer drive in and hang out for a day or 2 days while we build their car. We just did an F-150 for a gentleman from Alabama. He drove up and got a Roush blower. The week before that, we had a gentleman from Tennessee drive up and hang out all day and get a Roush Supercharger. I think the week before that, we did the same thing.
Yeah, and mention something about how people can just come in and see what's going on.
This isn't and that's the cool thing. It's an open shop. You want to come in and meet the technicians, just give me a shout. We'll make an appointment. You coming up, we'll walk on in, and you'll see some of the things that we're working on as well as stuff that we've got going on outside. That's no problem at all.
All right, this is the last question. What are your thoughts on the GT500 and what price will it be at?
So dealers do not have confirmed price. Any dealership that says they know the price of it already, they're full of it. It's not been released. I fully expect that to be an $80,000 car, plus dealer markups, because you're gonna encounter it. There's gonna be small dealerships that sell them MSRP, but 99% dealerships, that's their opportunity to make some amount of money on a car. So they're gonna ask over sticker. Great looking car. Very excited about it. Can't wait to drive one. That new transmission is gonna be stout. Not a big fan of the automatic gear shifter. It's out of the Fusion, which looks ugly, but it's gonna be a fun car.
Okay, last one. Talk a little bit about our shipping in regards to how we do our ratio from in and out of state.
So 90% of our builds go out of Ohio. About 10% are within the state. And so more often than not, we've actually had a lot of people come in from all over the country and pick up their cars personally this year, but more often than not, we're shipping that car out. So we use a broker. We use Saint Logistics to coordinate all of our shipping. We have a contact there whose name is Nathan Nickel, and he will book it out, book out the rate. The dealerships are not allowed to make money on shipping, so what he charges us, you pay. So we don't make any money on that service. That's the only step of the process that we don't have full control on. But so far, they're shipping cars in less than 2 weeks. I just called one in Monday, and the car got picked up this afternoon.
Cool. All right, I think that's it.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Cool. See ya.
Oh. What's up? Yeah.
I have this Fiesta that's home.
Yeah.
And it is being blocked in by a white King Ranch
over in your row is the key.